it's gone.
We were blindsided.
I've never felt so helpless in all my life to just watch it just pour in.
Everything we have of value is getting ruined.
We did not think this would happen.
We did not have the rental insurance. You never think about that. And now we have nothing.
Mother Nature doesn't get covered. I'm like, really?
We're on our own right now.
It's overwhelming to think of what we have to do to get this cleaned up.
Thanks for joining me for this KSL Special Report. I'm Lori Pritchard. Right now, more than a dozen homeowners in southern Utah cleaning up the damage from flooding. And this week, more homeowners living in and around the Dollar Ridge Fire, Duchesne County, got a chance to return to what was left of their homes destroyed by the wildfire. It is a harsh reality of living here in Utah, but there are ways to make things a little bit easier when disaster strikes. If you plan ahead right now, make sure you have the right insurance. It's imperative. If you think you're covered for everything, well, think again. There's a chance disaster could strike tomorrow and you would be stuck with a cost. That's something no one suffering from major loss wants to find out. So what's usually covered? According to the Insurance Information Institute, these are some of the most common perils covered by homeowners' policies. Lightning, fire, wildfire. If flames destroy your home, you're more than likely covered unless you start that fire yourself. Now, get hit by a windstorm, tornado, or hail, you're probably good. Even if your house explodes, your insurance policy will help you out. Here's some good news. If a car slams into your house, you're covered. You're also covered if an airplane crashes into your house. Falling objects like a tree or a boulder, also covered. Damage from the weight of ice, snow, and sleet, covered. And if a volcano erupts and sends lava into your neighborhood, no need to worry. Your typical homeowner's insurance policy is going to cover the damage. But in the event of an earthquake, don't expect to be reimbursed for the damage. And let's say your house floods. Standard insurance policies do not cover flood damage. KSL investigator Debbie Dujanovic is here to show us what we can do to insure ourselves against a flood.
Laura, I was surprised to learn that 90% of all natural disasters in the United States include some kind of flooding. So it's a really good idea to look into it. Here's a breakdown of pros and cons and also the costs.
When flooding happens in Utah, we're usually not talking about just one flooded basement. It tends to be catastrophic, overwhelming homes, neighborhoods, entire communities, and it's not always neighborhoods near bodies of water.
When I bought the house, they told me that this wasn't in a floodplain and there was no need to have flood insurance.
Unfortunately, many homeowners don't realize that anyone can buy flood insurance. No need to live in a floodplain. Sometimes it's cheap, sometimes it's not. The cost, $99 to $2,000 to $3,000 a year. It all depends on things like your home's value, location, height off the ground. Now, because flood insurance is so expensive for private carriers to offer, most homeowners buy it from the feds through the National Flood Insurance Program. There are two policies. You can buy one or both. The first covers your actual home up to $250,000. Stuff like the foundation, the garage, the AC, furnace, water heaters, large kitchen appliances, electrical, plumbing, carpeting, and drywall. The second policy covers personal property up to $100,000. Things like clothes, furniture, electronics, washers and dryers. Flood insurance is very limited when it comes to basements and crawl spaces, so no coverage for carpeting, tiles, paneling, some drywall, and nearly anything you can pick up and carry if it's below ground level.
It's also important to note coverage of flood damage also depends on where the flooding comes from. Damage caused by a sewer backup is only covered if the backup is the result of flooding, not by some other problem. Most flood damage from heavy rain, rapid snowmelt, or broken water mains will be covered by your flood insurance policy. And so will this, mud flows. This flash flood swept through southern Utah last night. At least a dozen homes flooded in the Dameron Valley area because of intense thunderstorms down there, Lori. It just goes to show you that you never know when flooding could hit your home. And one final note, if you're looking to go buy flood insurance, there is a 30-day waiting period. So if you see the storm clouds rolling in, it doesn't mean you're going to be able to get insured tomorrow. So make sure you think ahead.
It's not going to help the people in southern Utah right now who are dealing with that flash flooding. All right, Debbie, thank you. Well, when it comes to wildfires or fires in general, your insurance policy likely covers the structure, your belongings, outbuildings, and in some cases even landscaping. But you should be clear on how much your policy covers and limits to your coverage. Now, getting reimbursed for the building is a bit easier than getting your personal items replaced. In the midst of dealing with a disaster, the last thing you want to do is try and remember every little item and expensive electronic that was in your home. Having a home inventory can speed up the claim process and make sure you're rightfully reimbursed.
It's very rare where I bump into customers who have a record of what they own.
A home inventory really speeds up the claims process. It can save you from losing hundreds to thousands of dollars for items you forget.
Then weeks and weeks it comes back to you, and it's just really hard to then say, hey, oh, by the way, I had a necklace, or oh, by the way, you know, I had this coat that I needed.
Your smartphone is a great inventory tool. It can take photos or video of every room. Knowing when and where you bought the items and how much you paid also helps your claim. Whatever tool you use, inventory the stuff in drawers, cabinets, closets, even the garage or storage. Include little things like toys, jeans, linen, dishes, and shoes. They all add up. And update your inventory at least once a year.
There are multiple apps to help you create an inventory. Many are free and save your information right in the cloud. Coming up next, even if you don't own your home, you need to have insurance. What does renter's insurance cost? What does it cover? We'll take a look right after this. Welcome back. It's not just homeowners who should be insured for disaster. Renters can take steps now to make sure that when tragedy strikes, someone is there to help.
If you rent an apartment or home, there's a good chance you're not covered when a fire erupts or when some other catastrophe strikes. Just 40% of renters have renter's insurance.
The problem with not having renter's insurance and sort of assuming that the landlord is going to take care of you if you get into legal trouble or you have a natural disaster, the problem with that is that their insurance never covers you.
Bill Penton has been selling insurance in Utah for 30 years.
They don't realize, you know, for $16 a month or $18 a month, you can have excellent coverage.
Coverage includes personal belongings, stuff like cell phones, laptops, bicycles, and more.
Just like homeowners policies, regular old renter's insurance will not cover you in the event of a flood, so it is a good idea to look into both and be sure to have a home inventory as well. We have some resources to help you put together a home inventory on KSLTV.com. For the stories you've seen tonight and many more disaster preparedness stories, check out the KSL TV app and KSLTV.com. And thanks for staying up with us for this KSL special report. I'm Lori Pritchard.